just nice to be back at Donington in general, because it's a good circuit.
How long have you been doing this for then?
Since 2019, so I started in pre-injection with Hayley Christie. Did a few test sessions with my dad before 2019, just sort of off the book type things at Teesside and such. Got a bit of a knack for it. Started racing with Hayley, did about half a season with her, and she decided it was time for her to step away from the sport for other issues. So then I went on with my dad at Mallow Park, and that was brilliant. And then me and my brother finished off as a pair of novices at Anglesey at the end of the year, finishing just behind Rob Fisher. So it's been a really good time. And then 2019, 2020, sorry, you didn't have yourself a passenger. It's called upon me. And we've learned together really well over the past couple of years. I think we've improved quite dramatically. So,
we're a true Derby team now.
Yeah.
We only live 3 miles away, and this is obviously it's certainly my favourite track.
Yeah, hands down best track in the UK.
Yeah, it's just great. It's great, and it's handy because obviously when we're preparing the bike, we have a bike night. He comes around, helps us prepare the bike. Although most of it's done, so we pretty much making
sort of
cups of tea
around,
and just chatting about general rubbish, really. And what the future lies, really. So we just try and prepare ourselves that way. But other than that, it's great.
Okay, we're here with Steve and Matty Ramsden. They're a father and son team from Hebden Bridge, riding an LCR Honda. Steve, 2 third places at Brands, puts you 3rd place in the standings. Strong start to the season after a pretty disappointing 2020 by your standards. But looks like you boys are back.
Oh, we're back, yeah. It's a lot better start this. It was a bit of a lonely race, 2 thirds, but I enjoyed myself and glad to get back up to speed.
That's the main thing, yeah. Of course, you had a few issues, but you've had an operation over the winter, and you're back fighting fit again, so to speak, like the good old days in the 90s on your old Jacobs Kawasaki.
Jacobs Thundercat.
No, that was a later bike, but we'll let you have that. Yeah, Jacobs Thundercat, great bike that was. And turning to Matty. Matty, you're obviously a great passenger, but you're also proving yourself as a bit of a talented driver. Do we think we'll see you back behind the bars sometime this year?
I'd like to get going and just have a few meetings under my belt rather than just the odd one. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I seem to remember you having some great races at Mallow Park and the Cadwell Park Bonanza. I think, am I right in saying you were the Phil Dogworth Trophy winner a few years back?
2017. 3 years, maybe 4 years ago.
Yeah, might be time for you boys to switch places because, Steve, as we know, you were a passenger back in the day with Paul Coward, Jamie's dad, at one time.
Yeah, I did my time with me and Paul. We just... he decided he wanted to go solo racing, so I jumped on bars. It was basically whoever didn't crash is the driver.
I think that probably makes sense.
Paul crashed all the time, so it was the obvious choice.
Okay, so we're here with James Neave, passenger on outfit number 33, the Baker Honda of Sean Hegarty. Sean is constantly wandering about the paddock, so we haven't been able to pin him down as yet. But James, 2 second places at Brands puts you in a good sort of position to challenge for the championship this year. How's things going for you all?
Brands was really good. 2 good races, 2 lonely races really, but happy with the 2 seconds. So just try and keep looking away at that really.
Right, we've moved over to a family team here. This is a 2-bike setup, the Scorfields. The drivers are Chris, and you can't see David, but you can probably see quite a bit of work going on in the background. He had a bit of a technical issue this morning, so we'll leave him to it, because obviously we're waiting to get out for the race. But from the left here, we've got Shane, who is passenger to Chris, and then we've got Guy, international superstar Pawsey, on the right. So let's start with Chris. Chris, you've been about this series now 2 or 3 years. You did some Bemsey before that, and you had time off because you worked in the military. Are you really enjoying your racing and getting back to it full time now?
Definitely am, yeah. It's really enjoying it, especially now with these good results we've been getting. Definitely.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and Shane, you're a new passenger. It was your first time out with Chris, I think, at Brands last week, and you took 2 second places in the Cup, and you're now leading that series. Pretty much a baptism of fire, but you're doing really well, mate.
Yeah, it was. It was definitely baptism of fire. It's the first time I'd been out on an F2 outfit, so it was all new to me. To come away with 2 second places, can't grumble at that at all. It was really good. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolute credit to both of you, because you did have a few problems on the Friday and you had to work hard to get out there. So it just shows if you put the effort in and you put the work in, you can turn it around and make a really good weekend. Chris, your thoughts?
Yeah, definitely. We saw Friday we had brake issues, so we didn't get out for the first session, and then the second one we blew an engine. So worked all night, as you do, changing engines, and still had misfire. Still had problems Saturday morning. Went out in practice and qualifying, had a really bad misfire. It turns out one of the injectors weren't firing. So luckily, Bruce Moore, good lad, he lent us some injectors, got us going, and it did the trick.
Okay, I'm here now with Lee Crawford and Scott Hardy, Team ARC, LCR Suzuki 600. They had an absolutely perfect start to the season at Brands Hatch in the first round of the FSRA British Championship. Pole position, 2 wins. They went under the lap record in qualifying and they almost matched it in the race. Lee, how do you foresee the race going? At present we've got rain falling, but the weather keeps changing by the minute.
It's hard around here to get the right tyre choice because of the fuel from the jet planes, the conditions. It's changing all day, so we're just looking at the weather all the time.
I'm here now with Harry Payne. He's a newcomer to the FSRA F2 Cup Series, but judging by the pace he's put in, you would think he was a bit of a veteran at this. Obviously, Brands Hatch, you were showing great pace. You had Marc Wilkes on there in Friday testing, and I think you were matching the time set by the race winners that weekend. But unfortunately, Saturday morning things went wrong. Can you just give us a little bit of information about how you and Marc are recovering from that? Obviously, you're looking quite well yourself.
Yeah, it was a bit of a sad turn of events. We weren't quite as quick as Lee and Scott, but we were reasonably close, and it was quite good for our first time out. Great to have Marc as well. Unfortunately, he got hurt, and it's probably going to be we're probably going to miss a couple more rounds. But Marc's healing well. He's really positive, which is driving me forward, and I'm fine. Obviously, I was a bit dinged up, but nothing like Marc, obviously, and just gutted. Obviously, we had pace for a good pace for probably 2 second place finishes, which would have been amazing. Would have been unbelievable, but unfortunately that wasn't there, and we just have to do our best and come back and try again.
Tell me, how did the practice circuit go this morning?
It was really wet. We put a set of slick tyres on, and it started to rain a little bit harder. And then it started to rain halfway around Coppice, which got even worse. But yeah, generally we kept it on the track, which is better than a lot of people did, to be fair. So it's a bit of a bonus. But yeah, we should have gone out in wets. I know Lee Crawford came in at one point and he changed his slicks to wets. But yeah, unfortunately we didn't have that advantage, so we just carried on as we were.
What about the qualifying? How did you do in the qualifying?
Really bad qualifying. We qualified okay. We qualified second in the cup.
Yeah, qualified second in classic.
But yeah, sorry, I thought we were talking about the actual warm-up, which was terrible. But yeah, qualified second in the cup, and yeah.
Well, how come you didn't think you did too well? Sorry, why do you think that was?
We went out on wets and it was dry, so we did completely the opposite. Looked at a tarmac outside. We sent a couple of spotters round to the track, and they said it was damp like it is outside. A couple of storm clouds coming over, so I thought be on the safe side, go out. Went to Parc Fermé, looked around, everyone's sitting on slicks, so we did a couple of laps just to make sure the gearing was almost right, which it wasn't. And then we came in, quickly ran in, started doing the tyre change. We literally had 2 minutes to go and we just ran out of time, couldn't get back out again. So got seriously prepared for the qualification, and it's worked out all right. It's worked out a lot better, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's gone all right. In regard to practice this morning, obviously we only did a couple of laps, so for me there wasn't much going on. Came back in, tried to get the wheels changed over, but didn't have enough time. Went out in qualifying with slicks on bike. A lot of movement, and the circuit was evolving lap on lap and corner on corner. You'd have some parts of the track dry, like Redgate was fairly dry, I felt. But then you get all the way to Coppice and it would be a lot darker, a lot wetter, and the bike just wouldn't grip. So for me, there was a lot of learning what the track's doing along with the bike, which I think is quite good for me learning still. I'm still quite young. So I'm still learning quite a lot, and I think that's beneficial for me. learning or seeing what the track's doing lap on lap and moving to what the bike wants.
This morning they made a bit of a bold move, putting wets on into halfway through the qualifying session and put it on pole. Would you like to talk us through practice and qualifying, Lee?
Yeah, the practice was quite difficult. We went on full front wet, wet in the chair and a slick in the rear. It was close, but not close enough. We made a bit of a mistake into turn 1, and the bike span. So that told me enough of what we need to do for qualifying. We intended on going out on full slicks, did 3/4 of a lap, and Scott, gave me a tap and said, "Come in, put the wets on." Bang on choice for Scott. Good idea. We came in full wets, went back out. 10-minute session for us, and we put it on pole. It was changeable conditions. It was dry in places, but I think we made the right choice. And as far as Scott's concerned, he did everything he needed to do. Bike felt really, really good, so I'm quite happy for the race at the moment.
So those results pretty much, yeah, I'm not surprised Scott's delighted. Were you quite as delighted when you found the bike pirouetting up there at the top of the Craner Curves?
No, it was. From looking at the footage, it looked a lot worse than what it was. Sorry, it didn't look as bad as what it was, but it was alright, it was fine.
Yeah, there was certainly a few gasps from trackside, but you guys just continued merrily on your way, and as you say, had a great qualifying session.
It was actually quite an elegant spin, to be fair, but I think Lee thought otherwise, but obviously Mr. Reeves goes past shaking his head. Oh, let's go.
Well, it's not often we see you guys spin, so maybe he was shaking his head in disbelief that you made a very rare unforced error. Now, obviously the weather's looking pretty changeable for this afternoon's race. How do you see it going? Would you prefer a wet or a dry race, Lee?
Look, it is what it is. We're all in the same boat, so we're going to keep an eye on the weather for the next hour or two. We've got the wets ready, we've got the slicks ready, so whatever it is, we'll deal with it. I think you'll find some teams pick different tyres. This place is known for being slippy with fuel, so we'll see. We'll just we'll adapt to it and we'll do what we need to.
Absolutely. Well, let's hope it's not as drastic as being in the same boat as in an absolute monsoon. But Scott, does it make life any easier for you on the outfit if we have a bit of rain, or do you prefer a dry race yourself?
Yeah, I mean, dry is probably, I used to favour the wet because it was a lot easier, but nowadays it's, let's get out there, get the job done.
Absolutely. And obviously you guys are starting on pole today. Who do you see as the biggest threat from the start?
Everybody, anyone, you can't underrate anybody out there because there's some really, really top class field people here. Obviously Tim, Lewis and Paddy, obviously.
We've got the target on our back, so they're coming for us.
Yeah, they're coming for us.
We just have to do our own thing.
Absolutely, and that just shows the respect these guys have for all their fellow competitors. They are top of the tree at the moment, but they know that anybody on that grid can give them a race on the day. May we wish you all the best for the race, guys, and hopefully see you on the podium afterwards.
Thank you. Cheers. Appreciate it.
How was it this morning? We've had mixed conditions, really. I think you came in 8th in that qualifying session, so a bit more to come in the race, perhaps?
Yeah, definitely. We come in too early when it was still wet and then it dried out. So if we'd have stayed out a bit longer, it would have been better. But yeah, slicks on wet tracks, not the best, is it?
It's not, and I think that was pretty much proven by the but things stand at the moment, things are looking dry here, but anything could happen for the race. So what are you hoping for, wet or dry? Certainly nothing in between, I guess.
Yeah, one or the other. If it's wet, you go out and wets, but if it's slicks, you just know it's when it's in the middle, that's when it gets tricky. But then everyone's in the same boat, so makes it good fun.
Absolutely. I suppose you maybe wish you were on your classic outfit here today, because there's no mixing and matching on tyres there. You're going really well on that now. I think you've got a Simon Christie built Honda outfit, and you've been...
Yeah, we've got the CS Honda. We've got it last year, done a few on it last year. But yeah, that would have been a lot better. No messing about with wheels or anything like that. What's in it, that'll do. Fill it up, off you go.
Absolutely, until they go bang, but hey ho, we don't hope for any of that. Anyway, may I wish you and Sean all the very best for the weekend, and hopefully catch you later on. All the best for the race, James.
Yeah, thank you. Cheers.
Guy, we'll turn to you now. I saw you being shovelled back in this morning by a van. You're looking a little nonchalant. What was the issue?
Well, we got black flagged. I think it was old hairpin. Apparently, marshals had noticed that we were puffing smoke out. So we were unaware of that. The bike seemed to be pulling fine. So we immediately, obviously, exited circuit. The recovery vehicle came to us and obviously had a look over the bike, said they couldn't see any oil. So we proceeded to get back to circuit with them following us, but then the bike didn't want to start, so we ended up with the as usual push back to the paddock. on inspecting the bike, it appeared that there was just a wiring problem, but apparently not. It's slightly larger than that. So,
Well, fingers crossed you're out this afternoon. It certainly looks like it's all hands on deck in there. There's a lot of fettling going on. So the best of luck to all of you in both the Super and the F2 Cup Series. So, yeah, the very best of luck to everybody.
Let's hope this weather stays dry, yeah.
It wants to be one way or the other, I think, guys. What do you reckon, Shane?
Oh, definitely. I'd prefer it dry, but if it's going to rain, let it rain and we'll have it wet.
Yeah.
That's a general consensus around the paddock, yeah.
We did well this morning in tricky conditions. We qualified third in class on slicks in a very wet, slippery track. So let's hope we can do something better with it in the race.
Absolutely. All the best for the race, guys. Hope to see you on the podium. Well, all the best to you guys for this weekend to build on that third place. And next week, Scarborough, I think?
Yeah, not a good qualifying today, but hopefully we're on pace at Scarborough, pushing lead.
Absolutely. And a final word from Matty. You hoping for it to be wet or dry? Obviously, nobody wants it in between, but which would you prefer?
I'd rather to be in the dry.
Doesn't look like you're going to get your wish right now, but fingers crossed. Thanks very much, guys.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, Tim.
Talk us through today. How has it gone so far?
Yeah, today's been a mixed bag, really. First practice we went out with the wet tyres and it was too dry, and then in the qualifying we went out with the dry tyres and it was too wet. So yeah, we'll just try again in the race and see how we get on, but it's not too bad. We're not far off the front, so we're happy.
That's pretty much the story of the day, isn't it? Tyre choice and changing weather, and I think like everybody else you would probably assume it was one way or the other rather than all this chopping and changing in between nonsense.
Yeah, you got that right, Tim. Yeah, it needs to be one or the other, really, doesn't it? It's just, yeah, it's iffy. We can't really decide, and we hate that because it's going to be a last-minute tyre change. And it's probably going to be the wrong one, but it's a gamble, and everyone's in the same boat, so we'll just do our best and see how we come on. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, that just seems to be the general, consensus around the paddock. Now you'll hopefully be, looking at the F2 Cup podium, I would think, if not the upper reaches of Superclass as well.
Yeah, the aim is just to get some points on the board and have a bit of fun. I've got Manu on from France; she's come over. Benny's normal passenger, so just have a bit of fun, try and get a good finish, and try and be at the front of that cup and see how we get on. But yeah, just take it as it comes, Tim.
Absolutely. Well, I wish you both the best of luck, and I have to say it's a very professional setup you've got here. So if your results match what you do in the paddock, I'm sure you'll both do very well.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks very much, mate.
Lee Crawford and Scott Hardy, Team ARC, 600 LCR Suzuki. You guys made that look like a bit of a walk in the park, but I'm sure it wasn't. Could you just talk us through the race and how it went? I know you got a steaming start, but the rest of it I didn't really catch.
Yeah, in the warm-up lap, Scott said, can we do a bit of a launch off the line, get a feel for the modifications that we've made? So we did. I think for the start of the race, he came a bit further back off the bike, and it really worked. Gear selection was good all the way at the first corner. I did expect to see someone in the inside, and I think there might have been, I'm not too sure. Got our head down, looked at the pit board after the first lap, I think it was +2, +1, not sure, and just really, put it down as much as we could. So, yeah, I can't say a straightforward race, but it was difficult. Trying to be as consistent as possible, just felt Scott moving around, giving me what I want, and just, push basically all the way through. There was a bit of drizzle, I think lap 6 onwards. A little bit of a moment into turn 1 and turn 4, 5, calmed down a little bit, but a good positive weekend, a good race for the team, for the lads, for the sponsors, everybody. So really happy. Yeah, Scott did a mega job.
And Scott, for you, was it as smooth as it looked, or was he launching off the curbs a bit?
No, it was actually alright. There's a wee bit of moment down first corner, down Craner, where the bike had a big snap, almost left lead going around the rest of the track himself. But yeah, other than that, yeah, it was alright.
Excellent. And looking at the data, it would seem that you've actually set a new lap record. You now hold the lap record here, I believe, on both the international GP circuit and this shorter national circuit.
You know what, for the past 12 months, we've been working with the bike and modifications. We've moved to the Jed fairing, Jed airbox. I've changed the intake to my own design. I made sure it's legal, had it checked by John Smith. And we've done a massive weight loss cut from 2019. I think I'm personally 27 kilos lighter. I'm not sure on Scott's weight. You know, and weight's key. We all try and do carbon this, carbon that, and we try and drop a bit, but lose body weight. We don't realise it, how much of an effect it has. Not in a straight line, corners, braking zones, and we just concentrate getting our head down and trying to put a lap together. So trying to be consistent. Happy enough, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, it would appear that dedication, hard work has really paid off for you guys. Obviously now that's 3 starts in this championship, 3 wins, 75 points. How does that feel going forward? Does that give you confidence to push on and go for more wins, or will you just be looking to consolidate that and run safely for podiums? What do you think, Scott?
Push, push.
Push, push. I think he's made that pretty clear. And final question to Lee. Tomorrow's race, we don't know what the weather is, but it looks like it might be pretty similar to what we've had today. What are you hoping for? Will you be looking to improve on this, or will you be looking for a wet race and just settle things down and try and control it a bit at the front?
Well, with a reverse 6 top grid, I don't know. We'll just see what happens. Like I say, there is some quality field here. There is fast people. Huh?
Take it as it comes.
Yeah, take it as it comes, really. Just try and stay relaxed, and we'll do what we can. Try and stay consistent, try and stay reliable, and just have fun. You know, we're just trying our best.
That's excellent. Well done, guys. Congratulations to all the team, and good luck tomorrow.
Can I give a shout out to our sponsors?
Why not? Give a shout out to your sponsors, guys.
Yeah, just all our sponsors, everybody that helps us. You know, we couldn't do this without them. I know Scott's got personal sponsors, I've got personal sponsors. ARC, Binchester, Newton Aycliffe, Team ARC, it's everybody. We can't do it without you, so we really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. Very humble, and congratulations. We come now to the winners of the F2 Cup and 6 overall, Harry Payne and Emmanuel Clement. How did it go there today, guys? It looked like you had a really controlled race and you were up with the leading pack for a good while. So can you just talk us through how the race went, Harry?
Yeah, no, it went really well. It was a bit iffy, but we just finding our feet and gelling together, and yeah, it was good. The pace was pretty similar to P2 down to us, so it's pretty close, and we could see them all race, but a few mistakes by me, and we just we weren't able to keep the gap there. But we're going to come back tomorrow, and a few changes to make. It was still with the wet setting as well, so yeah, I'm happy. It was great to get some points on the board. It's my first win, and Manny's as well. So yeah.
Excellent. Well, the broad smiles tell it all. Emmanuel, first time riding with Harry. Trophy, very happy?
Yeah, I'm really happy. It was my first time in the F2 bike on a race, and the first time with Harry, so really happy. Yeah? Thank you.
Brilliant. Well done, guys. And we'll just focus on tomorrow then. It's a reverse grid, and I'm sure you're aware that you will actually start on pole with finishing 6th today. So any pressure, do you think?
No pressure. We'll just go out and have a bit of fun and see what we can do. We'll just push from the off and see what can happen. I'm sure we'll find a bit more time and just try again. Yeah.
Well, as you noticed today, the pole position sitters, they got a good start, and everybody else was sorting themselves out. So the plan is just to get that start and hopefully disappear into the distance, I guess.
Well, I don't know about that. We'll just head down and go, do our best and see what we can do. But I'm sure we can find more time, but I don't think we can find Lee's pace this weekend. He's riding phenomenally, and Scott. So yeah, we'll just do our best and see if we can enjoy ourselves and get back for Anglesey.
Thank you very much for your time, guys. Well done this weekend, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
I think it just doesn't.
I've worked this, you know.